Fort Eben-Emael was built between 1933 and 1935 and was one of the largest and strongest fortifications in Europe at the time.
Das stärkste Bollwerk des Feindes ist die Festung Lüttich und in ihr das Fort Eben-Emael. Es gilt mit seinen 22 Werken, seinen 40 Geschützen und seinen 1200 Mann Besatzung, gesichert durch den tiefen Kanaleinschnitt, als uneinnehmbar.
This Belgian fortress, whose strategic location and strong artillery positions commanded several important bridges over the Albert Canal, had to be captured at all costs. Reconnaissance flights played a crucial role in planning the German attack. The Wehrmacht likely used civilian passenger aircraft flying the Cologne-Paris route to take aerial photographs. These revealed that there was hardly any anti-aircraft defense. The roof was unmined, and the garrison displayed negligence, for example, by playing football on the plateau. This information was crucial for planning the attack. The Germans had two crucial weapons that had never been used before, the transport glider and the hollow charge. The DFS-230 transport glider, developed in the second half of the 1930s, with series production beginning in 1939, had an impressive wingspan of almost 22 meters and a length of over 11 meters. The fuselage consisted of a welded steel tube frame with fabric covering. The wings were trapezoidal and partially covered with plywood. A jettisonable wheeled landing gear was used for takeoff. Landing occurred on a sprung wooden skid. The cockpit featured a folding plexiglass canopy, while the soldiers sat one behind the other on a padded bench. The maximum payload was 1,257 kilo, equivalent to approximately 1 pilot and 9 soldiers, plus weapons. The DFS-230 transport gliders were to be towed by Junkers Ju-52 tow planes to high altitudes over German territory, where they would be released and then glide, almost silently, the 30 kilometers from the German border to the bridges over the Albert Canal and Fort Eben-Emael. A new type of weapon, the hollow charge, was used for the first time in the attack on Fort Eben-Emael. The hollow charge, weighing 50 kilograms or 12.5 kilograms, was filled with standard explosives. However, unlike a conventional charge, the force of the explosion was concentrated in the hollow part in the center of the device. The 50-kilogram shaped charge could penetrate up to 25 centimeters of steel, 1,200 degrees Celsius, and incinerated all underlying material. German paratroopers of the 7th Air Division under General Kurt Student were tasked with attacking and capturing Fort Eben-Emael. The paratroopers of the Granite Group, under First Lieutenant Rudolf Witzig, consisting of 85 men and 11 gliders, were carrying, among other things, approximately 2,500 kilograms of explosives. The takeoff took place early in the morning around 3:30 a.m. on May 10, 1940 from Cologne-Ostheim Air Base. Witzig's transport glider experienced technical problems. The tow rope broke over Efren near Cologne, so he and his group landed in Germany and returned to the airport. The anti-aircraft machine guns only opened fire on the transport gliders shortly before they landed. The main group landed on the roof of the fortress as scheduled at 4:25 a.m. First Lieutenant Witzig and his group only reached the fort around 6:30 a.m. During his absence, Sergeant Helmut Wenzel took command. After the first paratroopers landed, the first task was to neutralize the anti-aircraft positions. When the alarm sounded, the troops rushed to their battle stations. During the attack, the fort had a garrison of around 500 Belgian soldiers, although the target strength was supposed to be 1,200. One of the first bunkers to be attacked was Maastricht II, one of the German attackers' most important targets. The bunker was equipped with 3 75mm cannons and had a range of 11 kilometers. Maastricht II consisted of 31 men, of whom 28 soldiers were assigned to the guns and 3 additional ones to the observation dome. The attackers used a 50-kilogram hollow charge against the observation dome. The pressure wave killed 2 Belgian soldiers. Another explosive charge was placed near one of the 3 cannons. The explosion killed 2 more soldiers. The gun was catapulted into the interior by the enormous pressure. Wearing gas masks, the German soldiers entered the fortress and threw an explosive charge into the elevator shaft, completely destroying the stairs and the ammunition elevator. The swift and effective attack on Maastricht II contributed significantly to the neutralization of the Eben-Emael fortress. For close-range defense of the fortress plateau, there were bunkers Minord and Misud. Both machine gun emplacements were designed to repel attackers if they managed to reach the roof of the fortress. Each of these bunkers was equipped with 3 machine guns, searchlights, and an observation dome. The observation dome on Minord was one of the fort's 3 most important observation and fire control installations. Within 15 minutes of the landing, all observation domes were destroyed, leaving the fortress blind. In Misud, the machine guns were primarily positioned to cover the approaches and flanks of the fort. The central south building had a stronger concrete cover, and the machine guns were aligned along the access ramps and entrances. This was especially important for repelling attacks on the access roads or attempted breakthroughs. Expecting a Belgian counterattack, some paratroopers descended the stairs of Maastricht I. There they found locked armored doors. In the event of the enemy capturing the gun emplacement, the entire complex could be sealed off by a series of armored doors. These were arranged in pairs, and the spaces between them were further secured with steel bars and sandbags. The attackers placed a hollow charge at one of the bunker doors. The explosion not only killed the Belgian soldiers behind the barricade, but also destroyed the stairs leading to the guns. Like all other bunkers, Minord and Misud were also blown up by hollow charges. The Cupola 120 was the largest armored cupola in the fort, weighing 450 tons. It was armed with 2 120mm cannons with a range of over 17 kilometers. The Germans attempted to neutralize the cupola with a hollow charge, but failed because the explosive charge could not penetrate the steel. Later, the paratroopers attached explosive charges to the 2 gun barrels. These explosions jammed the gun breech blocks, rendering them unusable. The Belgian garrison managed to repair one of the 120mm cannons. At around 9:30 a.m., the paratroopers again attacked the Cupola 120 with explosive charges and finally disabled the guns. The Cupola North suffered the same fate as the other fighting positions. The guns of the Cupolas North and South could be sunk beneath the surface of the fort when not in use. The last intact firing position was the Cupola South, which fired on German units across the Meuse. Outside the main fort, there was an observation post located at the upper edge of the canal. Observation Dome Eben 1 monitored the mouth of the Albert Canal into the Meuse and was strategically positioned to detect enemy movements early. On the morning of May 11th, the German Army's relief troops, Infantry Regiment 151, reached Fort Eben-Emael by land. At around 7 a.m., Sergeant Portsteffen of the 51st Pioneer Battalion was one of the first to cross the Albert Canal in a rubber dinghy under enemy fire. Heavy fighting ensued around the entrance and the canal, lasting several hours. Block 2, known to the Germans as Work 4, featured armored observation posts, searchlights, and 60mm cannons.
Noch feuert das starke Außenwerk 4. Mit ihm steht und fällt Eben-Emael.
After the fort was captured, film footage was shot for propaganda purposes, reenacting the attack on the fort. A hollow charge was detonated on the north side of Block 2, causing extensive damage. After sustained pressure and the destruction of the remaining defensive positions, the Belgian garrison of the fort surrendered at 11:30 a.m. on May 11, 1940. In less than an hour, 71 German paratroopers had gained control of the artillery at Fort Eben-Emael. 24 Belgian and 6 German soldiers were killed in the fighting. The entire operation lasted less than 24 hours and is considered a masterpiece of military tactics.